Awesome. That looks good. Waiting for the preview to show up. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, cool. Then let's... There we go. Nix that for now. Awesome. Cool, so that looks good to go. Turn off the preview here on Elgato. Hey there, hi there, everybody. Happy Monday evening to you, or Tuesday morning, depending on where you're at. I see you, AC. How you doing, buddy? This is going to be round 2 of the round 2 Morningstar grind. I did a stream earlier today just to test that out. That went exceptionally well, and most of my champs are refreshed now for part 2. So let's keep the ball rolling. I'm going to be grinding out milestones here for the Morningstar Arena. I've already got the 5-star and the 5-star Awakened, so I'm not going to be going for the champion this time. We'll see about next arena for Storm X, but for now, just interested in getting the milestones and then winding up somewhere in the 1 to 10% bracket. So for tonight, just going to be hanging out, kick back, relax, put up some points. Probably going to jump over to the Alpha Arena too, since that's up, and just grind that out quick, just depending on how my 6-stars are doing. So, without further ado, let's get the ball rolling. So let's see if the 6-stars are back up. They are not going to be up for a while. Okay, so I guess this is going to be more of a alpha grind today. I already put up the infinite streak for the 4-stars, so we're going to just dive right into the 5s. And since it is the alpha arena, I'm not going to start at the top of my roster, just because that would be wasting my champs against the King and Thanos teams. So, start off with my rank 4s till I get to about streak 15, 16, and then jump in to the top of my roster and just keep going until I get to the 1.5 mil. I'm doing pretty well. Today wound up being a good day, got a lot of good work done. Yeah, overall, I can't complain. Really gotta say, I really like the morning stream. Hope to do more of those in the future as time allows, and nap times as well. But otherwise, yeah, I'll be here in the evenings, just hanging out and putting up some points. Now, most fortunately, the Alpha Arena is super simple and straightforward. Usually can knock that out in about 30 wins or less, which means we're about halfway there already. Should be pretty quick. And then whoever's left over from my 5-stars, jump back into the Morningstar Arena, put up some points there, and yeah, maybe call it an early night. I think the most exciting part about today, in game at least, was that the, what are they called, Book 2 Act 1 betas went out. It's fun seeing who got an invite. I most fortunately was one of those that got the invite, so I am definitely going to be joining up in that. Hopefully, be doing a couple live streams, and then just figuring out some strategy, because I could be tempted, could be very tempted to attempt a Legends run, should there be a Legends run, once this thing comes out, probably in a few months. Please don't kill me. So I think that'd be fun, and then just depending on whatever the prizes are going to be, whether they do a second secret champion for the end of next year, presumably, or they just start throwing Weapon X's out willy-nilly, or something different. We'll see. Well, I appreciate that, AC. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Got a couple more subs left to go, but it'll be pretty cool when that happens. But in the meantime, I will still take you up on that. We can have some fun. What do you bet? Name your price. It'll be really interesting what they come up with and throw at us for Act 7, Act 1, whatever you want to call it. I'm still standing by my my speculation that by the end of Chapter 1 of Act 1, or at the very latest, Chapter 2, we're going to start seeing all 6-star gates. Wouldn't be surprised. That's what they did with Act 6. And especially by the time the actual content comes out and then the subsequent chapters, they very well may put that into play. I hope not. I think it's a lot more fun being able to bring whoever you want and then just let the pieces fall where they may, but we'll see. Ooh. All right. So I get to duel you with the 1-star against your top champ? Do I get to pick the 1-star? I think it might be a bit of a surprise for both you and me because I do forget all of the 1-stars. I know Colossus is in there, I know Spidey is in there. I think maybe Drax. But honestly, since the end of Variant 4, I haven't really looked at my 1-stars. But you do pique my interest. Okay. Alright, I'll take a look at that. Let me just finish up the fight here and then see what happens. I love a good challenge. Sure. Unless I get completely wrecked, and then, you know, we'll just keep that between you and me. But it could be interesting. I think it may wind up being another thing where I really wish that they would have buffed the 1-star Colossus. Alright, so there's that. Get out of here. So that's win 15. Awesome. So I've got the infinite streak officially in the books now. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And then let's see. Oh. Is it the same IGN that you got here, or? Uh-oh. Rip Dooley Ray. Quite a few aces here. Is it AC space MCOC? No. What am I looking for? Ah, there we go. Alright. 4-star Doom. Okay. So, see who my options are. I got a lot of options. Really wish they would have buffed Colossus. So, well, I've got Suicides turned on, so I gotta be upfront about that. Otherwise, I would go Hulk. But, yeah, see what happens. Oh man, this is brutal. Come on. Man, that's ridiculous. That block damage. Come on. Oh yeah, this is just not even gonna happen. So squishy. So squishy. Come on. Come on. Oh, I'm wrecked. Yep. Man, I forget how bad 1-stars are. Well, I'll tell you what. I will re-challenge you as soon as I turn Suicides back off. But yeah, I'd say that Hulk is probably the best option. Vision if you aren't feeling super confident about dexing the specials, but that would be a proper challenge, I'm not gonna lie. But seriously, that damage that I was dealing out to Doom is nuts. Or I mean their lack of. That's like LOL status right there. Back when you would take in like a rank 3 or rank 4 Storm against those champs. I like that. I'm definitely going to play that again. So cheers on the challenge. Oh crap. Suicides. Hulk would be the better option just because you get a better damage output because of class advantage. But because he's... well... but that's about it. I mean, fortunately, the Doom isn't awakened, so you don't have to worry about the shock on Nullify, which makes it a little bit more... I won't say a little bit easier, but evens the odds a little bit in the challenger's favor. But that having been said, with the Suicides, it's practically a non-option. Because you would just never be able to use... I mean, you can't use the specials anyway. There aren't any 1 stars that heal. I'm definitely going back in. As soon as I turn the suicides off, so it's a little bit more fair. Call it the 1 star challenge or something. Yeah, but that's gonna be tough though to use the visions, because OG vision, he doesn't get the power gain, and MCU vision doesn't get the power steal. Scarlet Witch doesn't have any of her abilities because she isn't awakened. Yeah, that's tough. That takes away a lot of viability from those champs by themselves. Spidey might be okay provided you play perfectly, because he gets the armor break. So it might increase the damage output a little bit, plus with the class advantage. But everybody else, the best thing about the other champs would be their awakened ability. Yeah, seriously, right? Although, and this isn't a knock or anything, but I think the hardest part about that challenge is just the health. Because if you play well, you'll do well. It's kind of a dumb thing to say on my part, but it's not like a BS mechanic or anything, you know? It's like you're trying to fight a huge domino who's always, you know, proccing lucky or unlucky or magic with a limbo all the time. It's entirely plausible. Which is what makes it so much fun. But that chip damage was nuts. And it's a lot more fun doing it as a 1 star than a 2. Because by the time you get 2, then you get the special 3 enabled, you have the awakened ability, and awakened ability maxed out. It's not as much of a challenge. It just requires really solid, skilled gameplay. But it's entirely doable. Yeah. True that. Now, do you hold to that wager with the provision that it's done live, or can I like practice up a little bit and then record it? Because like having that Metal Sonic Dude moment, just doing it live in front of everybody, that's super exciting, but adds the pressure a little bit. Speaking of stupid dominoes. Stupid. You're wrecked. I think that's the best strategy for fighting evade champs. Is just go in expecting that they're gonna evade. That way when you do, you're ready to dex back and avoid the punishment to the face. Or if it actually connects, then you can throw another hit, see what happens. Copy that. It's exciting. Now, honestly, truth talk between you and me, if they did something like that in game, where they have like a 5-star as a prize, and it's like the weekly challenge, that would be so much fun. That every week is like a new challenge like that, where it just is like skill based. You get one shot, you either do it or you have to start over from scratch. Because I think that would have to be the absolute most, like at the top of my priority list for this game, is that it needs a Smash Bros-esque challenge roster, you know? Where you've got the that one mode in Smash U and then Smash Ultimate, right? Where you've got a couple hundred different challenges. You know, you either fight the tanky giant character, or you're small fighting, you know, a regular character, or, you know, you got this handicap, that handicap. And everything rewards something a little bit different, but it's still playing the same game, just forces you to think of and come at it from a different option or a different area, which I think would be wonderful. Really challenge people to rethink their game and the approach to the game. I mean, that would be like a whole nother subdivision of the game. And last thing we need is another, what was it? A bases, you know, where they just create the challenge tab and then leave it vacant for 2 years before finally saying, yeah, this is just not gonna happen. That's got me all perked up and interested now. I'd rather do something like that than grind out a path in like Act 6. Game could use a lot more one-offs. But speaking of one-off, that's kind of what these 3-day arenas have been, the Catalyst arenas. It's been a one-off. You can practically grind it out in one sitting. Cheers. The Alpha Arena especially, since it's a low cap at 1.6 mil for all 3 alphas. 2 mil for the 2 Tier 4 basics. And I'm not sure who still goes for the Class Catalyst one. Have they changed it where you actually get a Class Catalyst at the end milestone, or is it still a what is it? Ultimate Crystal or whatever they call it. Cheers, AC. Take care. There's a couple other YouTubers out there, Captain Bay and Super Gaming. They're streaming. See if they're up to the challenge. But cheers, friend. Take care. Be fun too when Brian Grant starts up here in a little bit. I reckon he might be up for a good challenge. Because if he can do the entirety of Act 6-3 item list, or 6-2, one of them, item list, then yeah, he definitely might be up for a good old-fashioned whooping. Well, that's a pretty good reason too. But yeah, welcome to everybody else. I'm just putting up points in the arenas today. We're just hanging out, It is, once again, a very chill arena. Fortunately, the last couple arenas for me have been chill. Those are my favorite kind. Where it's like you're going for a set end goal. You know what you're going for, but it isn't anything too crazy. You got plenty of time to do it. And you can make mistakes. Like that, with Archangel. But that having been said, I'm really looking forward to Thursday when Storm X joins the contest, because I'm going to be most likely going for both the 3 and the 4-star. The 3-star is super straightforward for me. I'm still sitting on a whole heap ton of arena boost crystals that just have been collecting dust for forever. So the 3-star arenas are fun because that's the one time I get to pop those open and actually put them to use. I can put up the 1.1 mil or whatever it is pretty quick. 4-star arenas a little bit longer, but not that bad. But I think she'd be a fun champ to have. And then hopefully by the time that she comes out, so by Thursday, they've already posted the new character sheets for White Widow and for Sheriff Hopper. See what they can do, see if they're worth their salt. I wonder how BG does it. He says, because BG grinds with one hand. I suppose it's plausible. It just feels very weird. And parrying would be a challenge. I mean, if that's what floats his boat, that's great, but that's pretty tough. Wonder if they're going to willy-nilly change up the placement of the special buttons again as well. So they did that a couple of updates ago, and that messed a bunch of people up. Myself included. And then you got guys like Dave going in and actually measuring it out pixel perfect to see just how much it moved by. But he proved the point. Those guys snuck one in. Sneaky fellas. So I'm going to guess that this round right here is going to get that 1.1 milestone. And then it's just the stretch goal at 1.6, 1.5? 1.6 to get that last alpha. But, you know, honestly, I may not even want to just do that and just jump back into the Morningstar arena. Seeing as how, you know, that was the namesake of the stream here. Oh, I'm already pretty much there. Awesome. That's like 2 more rounds. Never mind. We're going for the gold. Actually, that was dumb. I should have kept Fury for Spidey. Shouldn't be too bad. Spidey's squishy. Plus, especially in retrospect, like his evasion has not aged super well. Especially when you look at, newer champs like Nightcrawler or Domino. And even those guys aren't new champs anymore either. He's just a bit more predictable. Still a pain in the tuchus, but a bit more predictable. His unblockable special 1 though, that's a piece of work. Provided you don't have a Dex champ. Excuse me. Yeah, it was really dumb to put Fury on Corvus. He's gonna be bleeding me and healing the whole time. Brilliant. But down he goes. Cake. So I got one more fight? Do I need a full fight? Yeah, I needed a full fight. I'm probably going to need 2 more fights, actually. Next round's going to put me at like 156, I think. Just barely a sneeze away. And, sure. Why not? Killmonger versus Sunspot could have been interesting too. Sunspot is such a bad matchup for Killmonger. At least if you got like a Void on the squad. Always triggering some of those Killmonger abilities. Still doing a bunch of damage, but you gotta deal with all those abilities too. Not the most ideal situation. But down goes Captain Marvel. As soon as the fight started, fight was over. Get to keep moving about our merry way. Just the way I like it. Quick up, quick down. So I'll need to double check for the beta. I know that we've got 3 days to accept the beta. And then it's sitting out for a couple days while they get it all set up. Yeah, 15.6, 156. Then hopefully it starts pretty soon too. Because, as soon as life starts going back a little bit to some semblance of normal, slowly, everyone's going to start getting busy with regular work in real life again. Most fortunately. But now would be the time to do it. Okay, cool. So that should 3,400 points. Yeah, that noise is coming in from my end. Neighbors are up to something sneaky. Saw the news today too that DC was pushing their lineup back, which I'm surprised that wasn't already happening. They already announced delays, production delays for shooting, and then I'm assuming effects and second teams and whatnot. I had just assumed that it was all going together, hand in hand. The release date was getting pushed back along with the rest of production. Because, I mean, logically that follows, right? But I guess someone had to go out and just say it. So, there we go. 3 easy alphas. 1, 2, beautiful. Now we still got a little bit to go before the 6 stars are refreshed, and that's probably going to wind up being off stream. Keep this one here tonight short, sweet, and to the point. But we still got a few matches to go before that happens. Still gotta get a better feel for Warlock, though. You know, you get a champ and you play him and you get the general sense for them, but there's a big difference between just being able to mash buttons until the opponent doesn't get back up and actually having a solid understanding for what works when and why. Kind of a fan of the easy to pick up but difficult to master approach, which for a lot of the champs in this game is not applicable. You know, it's either what you see is what you get, or it comes down to dumb, stupid, blind luck. But there are a few champs where you really just gotta get good. Cool. And special me. Oh, that works too. Beautiful. Heavy intercept. Wish those would be more easy to throw, especially without getting caught. Oh, Drax. They just need to go through the entire, and just start from the beginning of the game, and just work their way back up the roster. Kind of refreshing champs, giving the old ones a bit of new life. Hey Executor, how you doing? How you doing this fine evening? But yeah, I mean, just like start in with some of the old champs. You know, your Abominations, your Draxes, your OG Captain Americas, Carol Danvers, Ms. Marvel. You know, just give them a little bit of love, a little bit of a facelift. If nothing else, just buff up their synergies, leave their kit alone, and just give them a useful synergy with, you know, champs that people actually play now, you know? Like Ms. Marvel, I don't think has any synergies with Kamala Khan, or especially movie sparkles. That's tough. Having a tough time finding outlets to recruit, or finding potential recruits who would fit the bill, be reliable, can handle the maps that you guys run. Because I know, I think Reddit on Fridays opens up a couple posts for recruiting, and then there's a section on the forum too. I can't speak to the forum. Not there too terribly often, but I know the Reddit one is pretty well populated. I've been playing for about 4.5 years, so I didn't join up. Well, it's probably pushing 5 now, to be honest. I didn't join up right as the game launched, but I was starting to play about 4 months in. So just long enough not to get the top badge for longevity when the appreciation event rolls around, but long enough to have seen a few different iterations of the game. Well, you could always, well, I'll say that. You could probably stick with, ouch, with trying your luck on Reddit. Otherwise, there are a heap ton of AGT family affiliate and different different alliances already that run the gamut from, you know, just downloading the game for the first time through, you know, I want going for the hardest challenging content. Good check there too. Ouch. Yeah, losing accounts, that's rough. That's rough. Does it get easier though? Like going back into the game, knowing what you know now, you know, making different decisions from earlier on? Or is it like a whole new game each time, just with the different champs that you wind up pulling? So I'm starting to see that more with people that have been playing for a while. To just start a new campaign. I wouldn't personally, but it's fun seeing them have fun with the game in new ways again. Yeah, ouch. Cool. Get to juggle. Or maybe, who knows, wind up pitting one account and one alliance against another. But I would wonder how it would be like going back through some of the original content with some of the modern champs. You know, how it would approach some of the fights differently, or the fact that you actually get some pretty solid synergies now as opposed to back then. When every synergy seemed like it was just romance or what was one of the other ones? Not It's Complicated, but like teammates, enemies, friends. Let's do Warlock for fun. Power Cosmic, as in like what it's talking about in the comics, or is Power Cosmic another alliance, or? Or like the Silver Surfer ability? And you get some juice to the face, and you can have some more juice, and some more. Oh, guess he's not thirsty. I'm strategically letting you punch me in the face. For science. And it's gonna be close if I can get him down before his indestructible boots up again. Come on, perfect. I have not. Or if I have, I can't recall off the top of my head. What do they usually play? AQ wise or war wise? Alright, so we're still doing pretty good. Excuse me. Over 5 mil. Got the first 6-star batch refreshing. I'll take that. Ah, that's right. These are the 6 stars that I threw at the end of the Sunday arena, just for some extra points at the end. That's where these guys came from. Yeah, you got the whole Loki clan. 1 Loki, 4 Loki. Yeah. Yeah, those guys I've heard of. That sounds like a pretty prestigious group. Anybody who can juggle both high-end map 7 for AQ as well as fighting for a top spot in AW has my respect. That can be a bit of a juggle. Because you do that, plus you do the other. If you're interested in grinding arenas, that's a whole nother thing. And then burning energy in either story mode or monthly quest. Got a lot of tongs in the fire. I did, but didn't they? Wasn't that last season that 1 Loki disbanded? Or was that early this season? It does seem like there is always a fair bit of drama going on. Should be okay with this. Which I totally get, you know. For as high stakes pressure as Alliance War is, especially the higher up the food chain you go, I completely understand tempers and emotions running high. Heck, I've been there. I've been in alliances that have been there too. It's tough. Because everyone has a different idea of what they want or where they should wind up, how they should play, how everybody else should be playing. When at the end of the day, there's just so many variables up in the air. You know, everyone should be allowed to have a bad war. You know, stuff happens. You're either not in a super great mind space yourself, or the AI is just nonsense. But sometimes just having one bad war throws the entire alliance. You have a couple of those from a couple different people, and yeah, you're facing a mutiny. Really? Okay, then no, I didn't hear that. I had heard somebody else towards the top was breaking up. May have been one of the Chinese alliances, but that may be hearsay as well. But there's a whole bunch of other drama. Sometimes it feels like some of the alliances, or at least the stories coming out of some of the alliances, feel like it's straight out of high school. You know? Bunch of name calling and finger pointing. Sometimes deserved, sometimes unfair. But you know, that's kind of how it goes. Like I'm really proud of our alliance right now and where we've been and where we're at and where we're headed. So it seems like we've got a pretty solid group of guys, for sure. But you know, at the same time, the farther up the food chain you go or you want to go, then there are just so many more pressures put on you. It stops being a game just for the sake of being a game and starts turning into can start turning into a full-time job where you're just balancing the responsibilities of playing your best at all times and even shaping your entire roster around one specific prestige champ, whether or not, you know, you actually want them on your squad. Or like if you don't get lucky enough for the pulls, and especially for some of the bigger rewards, some of the Renko materials, you could have great champs in 5 out of the 6 classes, but if you pull the one class that you can't utilize, it's wasted materials. Stupid. Stupid Heimdall. They're stupid unblockables all the time. I'm punching you too much. Ouch. All you gotta do is just stop punching you so you don't get that armor up and you won't go unstoppable or unblockable. This should do it though. Hopefully. Hopefully? Nope. Maybe? Yeah. Nope. Stupid. No! No! Come on! There we go. Man, what a slog. You know, all I'm gonna say about any of that is that I'm very thankful to be in AGTW. It's been a solid group of fellas. As part of the second wave, I wasn't part of the original gang that formed AGT and AGTW, but joined up soon thereafter and played with a lot of good fellas. And by and large, we've always managed to avoid some of the unpleasant drama. So it's been nice. And it's always unfortunate to see things not work out the way that everyone would like, you know? But then you always do hear of the people trying to manipulate the system as well, so it's a freaking high school drama club. And ain't nobody got time for that. I just want to punch dudes in the face until they don't stand up anymore. Unfortunately, since that's something I enjoy doing so much, this is an excellent game to be able to exercise that, because I get to do that hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of times. So my hat is off to like some of those crazy arena grinders who grind out their entire roster to farm out one of the top 50 spots for the 5-star arena, where you got a win streak of over 1,000, and that's just 1,000 matches, right? That's could be in a ballpark of 3,000 individual fights over the course of 3 days. You know, it's fighting 1,000 dudes a day. 1,000. That's nuts. I don't know how you have the mental stamina for it. That's the part they don't tell you about in the game. Like, you can be good, you can practice, you can do this, you can do that, and the other. But like, 9/10 of the battle is just having the mental stamina to stay focused and not get bored. And stay on track. That's why I recommend watching videos while you grind. I mean, heck, when I ground out Doom, binged like an entire season of Netflix over the course of 3 days. But not gonna do that again anytime soon. Cheers. Wound up biting off a bit more than I could chew there. Wound up working out okay in the end, most fortunately, but jeez Louise, that was crazy. Excuse me. So we're doing pretty good. Gotta go back and see how many more 6-stars are going to be refreshed. I think we've got a good few coming up. I think I wound up doing 5 or 6 6-star teams right before the arena ended, about 12 hours ago. About 12 hours exactly. Means my alley mates need to keep punching that help button. But I'm not going to hold it against them. We've got a good number of grinders in the alliance here, and it isn't uncommon to see at any given point during the day that you've got, well, let's see, 700 helps or 1,000 helps. Ain't nobody got time for that. Especially when you're only doing 4 at a time. Punching that help button 250 times-ish. Nah. I tapped the screen enough just doing basic fights. But, you know, you want to be a good alliance mate and do your part. What goes around comes around too, so it's always that. But there I go, zoning out a little bit, gabbing a little bit, and I forgot to check. Whoops. You, and Down goes Ultron. Well, we're doing pretty good here. Doing pretty good. Not gonna lie. Pretty happy with how the day's grinding has gone. Because with any luck, I can reach the final milestone tomorrow night-ish. And just be done with it a little bit early. Okay, so there is Carnage. We have Sparkles in an hour. Rhino. Okay, so we've got 2 more teams coming up. Well, those guys... Let's do Sue, Squirrel Girl, and Vision. Just because I don't play anywhere near enough of them as much as I'd like. Could be interesting. All 3 champs are champs that I need to learn how to play better. And I don't think it's any coincidence that all 3 champs are fairly new. And with huge essays for abilities. As boring as it used to be, I do kind of miss the day when a champ's abilities could be summed up in, 5 sentences or less. Special attack does this, special 2 does this, special 3 does nothing, parry does nothing, you might get an armor up, and that's it. Whereas now it's like, it's this huge if, and, or equation. If situationally this, then that. Okay, so she does have suicides. It's like, that's a lot of red numbers I'm seeing. And that definitely can't all be me. Excuse me. Excellent. So, let's go in with you 3. Yeah, why not? Gonna eat a little bit extra damage with Electra because I'm bleeding, but still probably worth the offset and the risk. Now, I haven't, actually, while I think of it, I haven't heard that they're doing maintenance tomorrow night. Kind of hoping that they don't. Last week took 3 hours, and that was a bit excessive. But again, if that's what it takes to keep the game running reliably smooth enough, and avoid some prolonged downtime while they figure stuff out, like they used to, then, I'm okay with that. Good on them. Thanks for advertising it. Wish it was a little bit later, but that's just me for my own time zone. That actually wasn't a bad fight at all. That's pretty super easy. I do wish they would do another, either a new Electra or, like everybody else that I was talking about earlier, they just go back and give her a little bit extra attention. Maybe a couple new sub-abilities, something with her heavy. Make her a bit more ninja-esque as opposed to just having stars. I don't know. Wishful thinking. Probably never going to happen. Just to make Electra a little bit more interesting to play again. Excuse me. So we got just a couple minutes left to kill. Go burn some energy in normal quest. So I've already got Mastery and Uncollected all finished up, and now I'm just putting in the last finishing touches on normal. Probably not going to dive into beginner or easy, just because the rewards aren't worth the time for me. Oh boy. These guys are easy enough, and I think get a tier 4 basic at 100% completion too, which I need each and every single one of those that I can get for my big rank up coming up. And that cannot get here soon enough. Because I'm very much looking forward to playing some of those champs. I play them now already, but play them at an even higher level. So stay tuned. Or just, you know, like, subscribe to the channel, get updates, etc., etc. You know, that shtick. But there's that energy spent. Go claim some arena loot. I will take that, I will take that, and I will take that. And I think the last bit is the Cav. The last milestone? It is last milestone. Speaking of special events, got one more for that, and then that's all done. Take in Nebula at some point for that. And then, let's see. Cool, perfect. Full team. Let's do it. Do that, and do that, and do that. And do that. Must have missed that prompter. One down. Easy peasy. Who would have thought 6 months ago, or even a year ago, that Colossus would be such an amazing champ? Like, good on them for actually giving him a usable kit. I mean, just for starters, a usable kit. But then making it pretty exceptional too, and fairly unique. I think that's the most important part, is that it's unique. Because it's no fun having 5 champs and all 5 of them play pretty much the exact same way because they all steal each other's mechanics. Or are just too similar to be able to tell the difference. That. Awesome. And there we go. Alright, so that is 52 wins. We are at 6.3 mil, which is almost halfway. Almost halfway for day 1, so that's really good. I will definitely take that. Plus, got all of the milestones in the Tier 1 arena. So overall, that was a pretty good little grind session right there. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys watching live for hanging out, tagging along, and just gabbing up a storm. Appreciate that. For those of you who are watching at some distant point in the future on YouTube, cheers. Want to say be sure to like and subscribe to the channel too, because it's still a fairly new channel, and each and every bit still helps me out immensely, and I very much appreciate that. I'm going to be doing more streams tomorrow, probably just do a night stream, and then potentially another one on Wednesday, just depending on how many points I need and how many are left to go. I'll be checking out the beta here in the coming days, since that's new and that's going to be super shiny and exciting. That's going to be fun. Plus, you know, the usual random drops of videos here and there. It's a bunch of cool stuff coming down the pipes over here, so stay tuned. But until then, thanks for watching. Take care. Talk soon. Stay safe. And be well, everybody. Have a good night.